Hotep, I am that I am. Some call me Heru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist. Back at it again here for you. Here with another episode. Welcome once again to episode number 55. Fear of criticism. Now, I would like to thank you all for subscribing, taking the time to tune in, tune up, tune in. Therefore, sending this out to your family, friends, loved ones, girlfriends, boyfriends, all the friends and associates. Shout out to you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your interaction. Thank you for the follow. And like I said, you can tune in to 411 Calisthenics Lifestyle pretty much on every platform. I'm noticing the platforms are making me available. You know, they know when people are tuning in, they listening, hearing what a brother got to say. Not just hearing what a brother got to say. Like I said, even if one person even gets some benefit from this, the value from this, I have done my job for the day. And like I said, episode number 55, Fear of Criticism. I remember a couple years back, it's been years now, but they put an acronym out there, and it was for fear. It was false events appearing real. You know, I might have it a little backwards or whatnot, but it's understanding to false events appearing real. Now, we've been talking about this COVID issue. Some people may think, okay, I'm getting angry and this and that, and anger because I'm calling people bitches, hoes, sluts, and all that other stuff. And that can be male, female, if you want to go there. But at the same time, it's like we're not taking responsibility for our actions in general. We're interacting with people, and we have to interact with people. You feel what I'm saying? Even if it's a computer-based program, we still got to communicate regardless. The thing I'm understanding is a lot of people are afraid to hear what others have to say. You know, fear of criticism, fear of not being accepted, fear of every thought is not going to be crystal clear where everybody's going to get it. The aha moment. You feel me? This is understanding we all go through mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. You know, we tend to face these. Not everybody's going to like Heru. Not everybody's going to like the modern monk. You feel me? Not everybody's going to like Son of Life. You feel me? It's an understanding. Look, people, but to be able to grow, you have to take all hits, right? You have to take all criticism from wherever it's coming from, even though you don't have to accept it. People got their own ideas, concepts, comments, whatever, thoughts, however you want to look at it. You know, my point, even if it's criticism, you know, because I mean, we tend to connect to these ideas and thoughts. I'm pretty open, you know what I'm saying? But one of the things I have been very learning as I've been going, people stick to certain things that really don't have no sticking power. And let me elaborate on that a little bit. I'm not saying I'm right every day, all day. I'm asking you to think within, go within, ask the question. Argue within your argument, right? Debate within your debate. Don't tell me because they've been doing this for hundreds and thousands of years that this is the right concept. Maybe that's not the right concept. Maybe it's something you got to think about. When you got masses doing the same dumb ass shit time and time again and thinking they're going to get a different result. That's what's going on with religion, with all these thinkings we particularly put our minds into, or our bodies into, or our consciousness into. You feel what I'm saying? Like they said, what a man thinketh, so is he. Huh? Robert Allen, even though he didn't come off with that particular saying, it's been said time and time again, time and time before. But certain things that we used to do is no longer relevant in today's atmosphere, in today's business. Mind your business. Mind your own. Mind, key word, mind. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Now, fear of criticism. We talked about this a little bit. I was going deep. It was funny. I was doing a video, or I was claiming I was making a recording on this particular episode, but I was like, okay, well, it's not meant for me to go deep in it yet, So I figure, okay, let me go ahead and see what I can scrounge up. So I happen to be rereading the lovely, as I suggested to my brother Finn, to go reread or read Think and Grow Rich, right? So, deeping and diving, dodging and dipping, going into that little bit. I will come back to that. Let me come back to that. Let's get on the same page real quick here. Criticism. I'm looking it up. Definition from Google. Our famous lovely guys over there at Google. All the infrastructures they have and all the criticism they've been going throughout the years as they taking all our data and doing whatever they please with the data. So, criticism. The expression of disapproval of someone or something based on perceived faults or mistakes. Condemnation. Disapproval. The analysis and judgment of the merits and faults of a literary or artistic work. Assessment, examination, appreciation, appraisal. Now, criticism can be, you do have your particular criticism mindset deep dive with my deep divers, as criticism is the practice of judging the merits and faults of something. The judger is called a critic. To engage in criticism is a criticize. One specific item of criticism is called a criticism or critique. Criticism is an evaluative or corrective exercise that can occur in any area of human life. Now, we've been criticized even though just starting out in your daily life, when you're talking about becoming that child and you might not have a skill that all the other children have, maybe, or those who seem predominant or more structured, I guess, in their lifestyle or whatever they may be doing, because it may be nurtured. That particular talent may be nurtured in that particular area. Therefore, criticism is criticized to that individual, right? I remember, this show you too how we in the black community we use a lot of these fear tactics on each other in our community, right? In the black community. Think about this. Brother walking through the neighborhood. You walking through the neighborhood like you're tough. You're putting on a persona, right? These are what we've been doing. This is what we do in our culture. You gotta be hard. Maybe your pants is hanging down because you're trying to be accepted in this particular neighborhood. Or your shoes are fresh, right? Brothers always. It's kind of funny. Are you wearing some iconish t-shirt or shirt or whatever the case may be, something that's ridiculously costly that will end up getting the brother or somebody knocked out over some BS, some criticism. And it can be constructive too. Don't take me wrong. It can be constructive. Like even when you can get two entrepreneurs in the same room and they're hitting off ideas, concepts, and becoming stronger with that mastermind concept thinking, right? But some cases it could be critical criticism, and some cases it could be just straight down negative criticism. That brings people to a point where you're not building anymore. You're leaving less of you out there, right? You don't trust nobody. Because we're not character building anymore. This is where criticism kind of steps in that category. Having an opportunity to just get yourself around people who's actually going to push your talent. They see that you have the ability to do certain things. Yeah, they may give you some criticism, but it may be critical, constructive criticism. But it's something to think about, right? So as we dive into this false event appearing real, we tend to make things super real, right? When your government or when your institutions, when you're talking like your media institutions where they're running, you literally don't have that many companies when you're talking about television or access to programming, right? It's controlled by only a few people. And no wonder why everybody is doing the same thing. Even YouTube, that's the crazy thing. Even YouTube do it too. All the fitness so-called gurus, your Jeff Cavaliers and all these other brothers, Athlete Eggs, the Hodge twins, forgive me. The Chris Jones, them 30, buy 30 of these bitches. Right? And all these other iconish, even Scooby, what's his name? Scooby, dude. The dude who's been out there for years, since YouTube was YouTube. The first fitness guy. But it's all the same crap, Kali Muscle doing the same exact, talking about what this brother doing. He's got fake weights and this and that. Come on, fear of criticism. Now, how is fear of criticism when I'm putting myself on blast? Literally, I'm putting myself out there. And those who know me, I'm be about this motherfucker. Literally, think about it. Fear of criticism. I'm taking in all the fear. You give me whatever you want. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Now, how do you build? You know what I'm saying? This is the beautiful thing about this podcast show, because I have my aha moments as well. How do you build? How do you build more upon fear? So I was diving back, deep dive us. I was diving back into my Think and Grow Rich and rereading that, and just like overcoming so much criticism that was expressed in this particular book, because it's telling now, and it's really at a point where it's like, oh wow, Napoleon Hill was on point. Napoleon Hill knew exactly what was going to happen, how it was going to happen. So I want to dive a little bit into his book, Think and Grow Rich. One of the most read books out of entrepreneurs, probably than the Bible. When you talk about when you talk about the Bible, because the Bible is a book that's been around for some years, and they keep reprinting that motherfucker. You feel me? And that's another thing about fear of criticism. I'm not afraid to say things that others will keep amongst themselves. Therefore, it's taking it's taking unless you're adding value or you giving value to the people. I feel that I'm giving you value. I'm giving you an expression that's in the ether that I hope will kick you in the ass to get you to act, to get you to comment, to get you to engage, to get you to think about some of them things that you've been thinking about that are actually benefiting you and is not benefiting you, is taking from you. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Think about it. Religion was developed to keep people in a mindset, to keep people on a slave master mentality, period, point blank. That's why it was created. The Bible is of books, many other books, not just one book. It's of many books. Now think about that. All the Torah, all these different books. People always, this is the funny thing too. Realize this. We have, when we read in these books, these are scribes that were adding to the history of the books. Think about it. If we're still adding to these particular books. But people are writing. People are expressing. People are living the life, doing things that you should be doing on a positive to betterment and giving value to the universe, right? Therefore the universe, therefore you and I. I'm going to smoke to that one. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Now, we're going to jump into this book, Fear of Criticism. I'm going to read a passage from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Now, this book's been printed multiple times over the years since 72. I recall Mr. Napoleon Hill passed on, went to the netherworld, utilizing that knowledge, leaving a legacy with us that we can dive into, like deep divers, and really explore what he was bringing out in more of a fashionable way or more of a lifestyle type of approach, right? False events appearing real. The fear of criticism. Just how men originally came by this fear, no one can state definitely. But one thing is certain. He has it in a highly developed form. Some believe that this fear made its appearance about the time that politics became a profession. Others believe it can be traced to the age when women first began to concern themselves with styles and wearing appeal. Now remind you, this book was written in 1929. I think I seen the oldest print. 1929, Napoleon Hill wrote this book, even though Napoleon Hill's wife had a lot to do with this book too as well, and she probably made a lot of corrections. Not saying she changed the structure of the particular document, but she definitely had a big influence on this book, particularly Think and Grow Rich, and on him, Napoleon Hill. The fear of criticism takes on many forms, majority of which are petty and trivial. Bald-headed men, for example, are bald for no other reason than their fear of criticism. Heads become bald because of the tight-fitting bands of hats, which cut off the circulation from the roots of the hair. Men wear hats not because they're actually needed, but mainly because everyone is doing it. The individual falls into a line and does likewise, lest some other individual criticize him. Women seldom have bald heads and even thin hair because they wear hats which fit their heads loosely, the only purpose of the hats being adornment. But it must not be surprised that women are free from fear of criticism. If any woman claims to be superior to men with a reference to this fear, ask her to walk down the street wearing a hat of the vintage of 1890. The astute manufacturers of clothing have not been slow to capitalize this basic fear of criticism with which all mankind has been cursed. Every season, the styles and many articles of wearing appeal change. Who establishes the style? Certainly not the purchaser of clothing, but the manufacturer. Why does he change the style so often? The answer is obvious. He changes the styles so he can sell more clothes. Now, these are examples they were using prior to the Depression, as we're going through and experiencing right now. But if you own this call, if you own this phone, if you own this letter, if you own this recording, if you're tuning in, don't tune out. Those people are prospering. There are many people are prospering, benefiting from the fear of criticism, from the fear of what everybody else is saying about me, what I gotta do, instead of minding their own business. Opportunity is here. Opportunity is there. Opportunity is everywhere. False events appealing real. Fear of criticism. For the same reason, the manufacturers of the automobiles, with a few rare and very sensible expectations, change styles and models every season. No man wants to drive an automobile which is not of the latest style, although the older model may actually be the better car. We have been describing the manner in which people behave under the influence of fear of criticism, as applied to the small and petty things of life. Let us now examine human behavior when this fear affects people, connection with the more important events of human relationship. Take, for example, practically any person who has reached the age of mental maturity from 35 to 40 years of age as a general average. And if you could read the secret thoughts of his mind, you would find a very decided disbelief in most of the fables taught by a majority of the dogmists and the theologians of a few decades back. But we love it. We love it. We love the old ways. The old ways work for those who want to live the old way, right? It's crazy because you have to move with the times. You don't have a choice but to move with the times. Think about it. The people who understand money benefits from money, right? Think about it. The people that understand how money works benefit from that opportunity. And it's the same manner, right? The same manner. Fear of criticism. If you allow these entities or whoever it may be to put you up, to give you something that you know is not benefiting you or your family or others around you, something's got to be done. I'm going to smoke on that one. Something's got to be pushed. Uh-oh. Not often. However, we will find a person who has the courage to openly state his belief on this subject. Most people will, if pressed far enough, tell a lie rather than admit that they do not believe the stories associated with the form of religion which held people in bondage prior to the age of scientific discovery and education. Remind you, this was written, like sounded like them brothers in the Bible. Now remind you, this was written prior to, before Jesus was walking the earth. This brother hitting it up. He's opening your mind. Check it out. Why does the average person, even in this day of an enlightenment, shy away from the denying of his beliefs in the fables which were the basis of most religions a few decades ago? The answer is because of the fear of criticism. Men and women have been burned at the stake for daring to express disbelief in ghosts. It is no wonder we have inherited a consciousness which makes us fear criticism. The time was, and not so far in the past, when criticism carried severe punishment. It is still does in some countries. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Truly, false events appearing real. The fear of criticism robs men of his intuitive initiative, discovers his power of imagination, limit his individuality, takes away his self-resilience, and does him damage in 100 other ways. Parents often do their children irreparable injury by criticizing them. The mother of one of my boyhood chums used to punish him with a switch almost daily, always contemplating the job with the state, or complimenting the job with the statement, "You'll land in the penitentiary before you are 20. He was sent to reformatory at the age of 17. Criticism is the one form of service of which everyone has to match. Everyone has a stock of it in which is handed out, grits, whether called for or not. One's nearest relatives often are the worst offenders. So we go through that a lot too. Think about it throughout your family. People who claim they know you. You know, there's no such thing of you growing up or growing out of these particular issues. You know, and see, that's one thing too I don't think we give credit to. People who do grow up out of those particular issues. You know what I'm saying? Because we do have people who, you know, still think these old ways, but maybe they have had that experience, you know, to make them look more further, go more deeper, and find a different result without the same approach, if that makes sense. So, boom, boom, boom. For any parent, buried in inferiority complex in the mind of a child through unnecessary criticism. Employees who understand human nature get the best of their is in men, not by criticism, but constructive suggestion. Yeah, they good at that. Parents may accomplish the same results with their children. Criticism will plant fear in the human heart or resentment, but it will not build love or affection. And then he breaks it down. Remind you, this is 1930s. 1929, hence after during the Great Depression, this brother was writing this book, you know. So the symptoms of fear of criticism. This fear is almost universal in fear of poverty. Its effects are just fatal in personal achievement, mainly because the fear destroys initiative and discovers the use of imagination. The major symptoms of fear are self-consciousness, generally expressed through nervousness, timidity, in conversion and meeting strangers, awkward moments of hands and limbs, shifting of the eyes, lack of poise, expressed through lack of voice control, nervousness in the presence of others, poor posture, body, poor memory, personality, lacking in firmness of decision, personal charm, and ability to express opinions definitely. The habit of sidestepping issues instead of meeting them squarely, agreeing with others without careful examination of their opinions. Inferiority complex. The habit of expressing self-approval by the word of mouth or by actions as means of covering up a feeling of inferiority, using the big words to impress others, often without knowing the real meaning of the words, intimidating others in dress, imitating others in dress, speech and manners, boasting imagery, achievements. This sometimes gives a surface of appearance of feeling of superiority, and many other. We can go on with the Think and Grow Rich. It was, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but just the whole understanding of fear of criticism, what the basis is, how is criticism impacted in your life? How is it used in your life? How is it given to you in your life? Is it through a text? Is it through a certain email you get? Or even your relationship at your work environment? That's another one, huge one. Fear of criticism. Oh, if I don't do this, if I don't learn this, I got to take on this responsibility. I don't want to take on that responsibility. And see, and that's really where it comes down. Fear of complacentness. Fear of just don't want to take no responsibility. That's really where it comes down to. Just leave me alone. I don't want to interact with nobody. I just want to do my job and get out of here. Is that the mentality? 5 years done passed by. 10 years done passed by. Then you're questioning what kind of skills you have. I can imagine all the people that we're dealing with right now. All the unemployed specialities. How they're going through, been on these jobs, don't have no other skills. Now they're trying to work these skills, gain skills to get in a different environment or different industry. Think about it. Fear of criticism. What everybody else is going to think about me. How is it going to impact me? What is it going to do to me? Is it going to kill my ego? It's going to kill me. It's going to make me feel smaller than I feel like I am, or bigger or greater. You feel me? Becoming. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. They got this false event appearing real. It's called coronavirus. It's out here in Hawaii claiming that 200 and some people are getting it. You can check the statistics. I'm not even going to go there. The statistics of what they're giving you. Because they're not showing nothing. People are sick. They're sick in mind. Come on, this is what's getting them right now. The fear of criticism. False events appearing real. And when you got everybody else around you start saying, oh, I'm sick and I'm feeling like this way, I'm feeling that type of way, then you're going to have some feeling that type of ways. If you don't have your game bigger. If you are bigger than the problem. Yes, we get angry. I get angry. I hope you do. You got to let it out somewhere. I can let it out right here on my show. Yeah, and people can say what they want to say. That's what we want. We want engagement. That's what we want. False events appearing real. False events appearing real. Now, false. That'd be a good word to look at. False. False. The false grip. For my brothers out there on the on the calisthenic world, in the calisthenic world, they say false, an adjective. Not according with truth or fact. Incorrect. Incorrect. Untrue. Wrong. Erroneous. Faulty. Appearing to be the thing denoted. Deliberately made or meant to deceive. False. Events. Appearing. Real. 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 They call it criticism. This particular term can really shake people up, because I think it gets to the heart of people too. Really get in that heart chakra, having you thinking, wow. And it's, you know what's crazy about it? Because most people who do the criticism, you know, obviously it may be some jealousy, it may be, you know, that you, maybe your energy is taking over their energy. Maybe you just have something that they want and they want to push it down on you. But life, you know, life is just going to give you enough that you need, and then it's going to keep pushing. Keep pushing forward. You know, life is going to give you what you need. And your lessons, what you need. Some of us learn pretty fast, some of us don't, right? All of us are not equal. Some of us write, some of us read. Some don't read, some don't write. And then we're wondering why we're having a problem within our society. Well, now the children are home, but you can't even write up a just write a love letter, or just write. Then the reading aspect come in. This is when you got to start paying attention. But the fear of criticism. Seem like the more dumb you are, the more we want to. It's the opposite way, and I shout out to you, Kahafri, talk about what I meant by the Mr. Hitler issue. What I meant is this. I'm like, maybe if that was a success, say if it was a success, would we be in this situation right now? You see what I'm saying? If everything could go back to reverse, if we could reverse things, Muhammad Ali or Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, if they can just think, if these brothers would have been living, what would the country be like? What would the energy be like? That's what I meant by that quote, or that particular saying. Maybe he was needed. Maybe he was needed. Maybe he's needed now. Mr. Hitler. Because I don't understand why people always have to, why we have to always cling to these ideas, right? Concepts. Why not think about something else? But see, that's where that fear of criticism, what everybody else think of you. I don't care what everybody else think of me. You can think and have all the things and thoughts you want. But I'm going to keep it pushing regardless. Because most of this shit is false events appearing real. Literally, because it's all in the mind. It's your thoughts. What you putting around yourself. That's why, look, I've been doing a lot of meditating. And I do a lot of walking. Right? That's my meditation, my walking. And I'm able to get things and thoughts into perspective. Clarifying what it is that you see fit. Not caring about what everybody else think. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Oh, this brother got shot. Oh, they got shot. Okay, so what if we didn't pay it attention? What if the whole so-called Black Thought movement, we didn't pay none of that attention? What would happen then? What kind of results will we have? If we're focusing on something that actually gonna bring, that's gonna give. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna develop something positive. Oh, we got all the valedictorians up in every school in the book. All African so-called Americans. If you, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. It don't matter to me. We got to start identifying our own selves, defining our own selves. Fear of criticism. I'm this, I'm that. I know who I'm becoming. You know what I'm saying? And I sure is not there yet. That brother made up a word. Sure is not there. But this is the empowerment. This is the empowerment time. The empowered hour, as they used to say back in the day. Was that Joseph Campbell's show? Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Statistics are saying this. Oh, what's his name was sick, and I don't know how he got it, but they said he got COVID. But then you don't hear about all them people who claim they had COVID. Okay, they're recovered. They back in the game. Ain't nothing wrong with them. Millions. If y'all want to claim millions are dying from this stuff. Millions. It's probably just a few thousand. They keep playing with you. But see, this is the key thing. Fear of criticism. Why can't we think of the opposite way, or the thought that's not? They always say you only got two choices. No, you got a third. You got many of them. If you have a choice. Fear of criticism. You don't have to take it. You don't have to respond. Unless it's just a common post or something coming up like that on some negative stuff. But see, that's the risk I take. That's the, the criticism I get. Y'all can say whatever y'all want on that platform. You feel what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing, but at the same time, it's just like those who are content creators understand this. Some of them cry and boo-hoo, all you haters, and that should be more fuel to the fire. Keep it real with you. I enjoy it. People can say what they want to say. Cool. Do what you got to do. Handle your business. You don't even have to listen. You don't even have to tune in. You feel me? You can go listen to somebody else's podcast. If you want to stay negative, okay, that's your will. As they say, your will be done, my brother, my sister. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. False events appearing real. I have a tight relationship with my brother, Dr. Boz Moreno. Shout out to you. And me and this brother, over the years, we've been definitely pushing each other to another level when it comes to health and fitness. Shout out to my brother Abdul, the same thing, And the cool thing is about the challenging aspect, the give and get, right? The pull, the tug, the push. You feel me? But it's still going. You feel what I'm saying? Keeping that hunger, keeping that understanding that you want to build, you want to keep building. This brother been giving me advice, and some advice I like, some advice I don't like, some advice I don't agree with, right? This is the key thing to mentorship. You feel what I'm saying? Listen to what people have to say. I'm not saying take it all in, but listen to what people got to say, right? You listen to what people got to say. Take what you can, leave what you don't. You feel me? And go about that. None of this worshiping, this idol worshiping, none of this overzealous type of, issues. Don't take me wrong. I appreciate my brother Boz, you know what I'm saying? But I don't idolize the brother. You feel me? I don't idolize the brother. I don't take it all out of context where I'm like, dang, this brother, everything he's saying is on point. Don't take me wrong. A lot of things we agree with. A lot of things we don't agree with. Brother's probably saying, what is that? What is that? No, but the whole point is we still keep it pushing. We still keep it going. we still keep it moving forward, even if we do get punched back for a few steps, a few ticks, you know, but we still keep it trucking. Keep on trucking. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Now they just locked down once again. They bring him down to lockdown this Thursday. I think tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. The 27th of August. 27th of August. September. Of August. September, October. And we're seeing fear of criticism. People running around with these masks on all through the, just outside. Now I can understand inside places. Okay, even that's not even logic, because they got air conditioning. Everything is going out the windows or going outside to the. These are things I don't understand why we don't ask these questions. We sit here and we just take it in, and we don't allow it to just go through. Just get out of here. I don't even have a filter for that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have a filter for that type of shit. Just go through. It's done. When you got people under control, and you don't have to, you know, all you got to do is put a sign up there saying some crazy shit, and people would definitely go fulfill that crazy shit, and don't even question it, because their fear of criticism. False events appearing real. And we good at it too. That's the crazy thing. The media is so good at it, where it's so disguised where it's not disguised, if those of you who are comprehending what I'm saying. I'm like, I'll maybe be at some friend's house and I'm listening to the TV and I'm thinking to myself, oh, they just told them they're going to give them all these diseases and they're okay with that. And then we're going to just go ahead and give you another pill so we can take care of that disease. And then all of a sudden you got another problem because your kidneys are fucked up. You don't drink water, you drinking all these juices and pops and Kool-Aids and all this other crazy shit. Fear of criticism. Well, I'm weighing this much. And I don't like what people are telling me, this and that. And we all know, we all heard this. This is no secret. Fear of criticism. Get your health right. Get your fitness right. Get your mental right. Get your finances right. This is no boasting here. Them are all the things that we fear criticism because we don't have it right. We want to be like everybody else, spend all the money. Ooh, I can't wait to get my stimulus check. This is all we hearing at the job, stimulus. When did that stimulus come on in? When did that more debt come on in? When did we gonna have 2021 is gonna be just as worse as 2020? Because nobody ain't gonna have no money. You're gonna be like, where did all our money go? Oh, you remember all them toys you was buying for the house? Sound like me. Fear of criticism. When you're going to have a lot of people lost to the wayside, like this book, 1929, The Great Depression. This is the Great Depression. This is the Great Completion. Cleaning, cleansing. That's what it's doing, is cleansing. Right? Making full circle. And those who's going to prosper and create legacies shall do. That brother made up a word. Shall do. It's time to take fear of criticism and give it back to your mass media. Give it back to your mass religion. Give it back to your mass socialism. Your mass communism. And all the isms. Fear of criticism. False events appearing real. Now, if you're getting any value from this podcast show, the 411 Calisthenic Lifestyle Podcast Show, share it with your girl, with your friend, with your man, whoever else that can get value out of this particular podcast, or just these few words that we're elaborating on. I'd like to thank you as you subscribe, follow, share, comment. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what some of your fears. What are some of your false events appearing real? The criticism that you're getting from your fellow woman, fellow man, your co-worker, or your lover. And it's so subtle too. That's the thing. It's so subtle. It's not like building. How can we build with each other? You know what I'm saying? How could we create a more better legacy? That's really where it comes down. That's what we're talking about here. False events appearing real. We gonna make them real. Take out false. Make these events a lifestyle. Uh-oh. Get out there and do some walking. Do some walking. But I don't know. I don't got... You got a cell phone. Put your music on. Put on some old school. Some Earth, Wind, and Fire. You feel me? Some meditation music, whatever. Get you moving again. You come flip out and you've been walk 2-3 miles. Not even recognize it. Get out there. Fear of criticism. Get that out your mind. Come on, get your life back. Get your breath back. Get your flexibility back. Get that mass muscle back. Them solid rocks. You know. Get your mental right. Get them skills up. Go back to some of them old hobbies. Fear of criticism. Yeah, and if the case is, if your girl or your man or whatever the case may be ain't bullshitting, get them to come on and get involved with it. If that's the case, they don't want to do your hobby, have them get involved. I mean, if they don't want to support your hobby, see if you can get them more involved. Life is too short. Fear of criticism. Life is too short to be even fearing anything. Keep it real with you. We know the answers. You know that? The answers are already there. For everything. The answers are already there for everything. We're just not asking the right questions. We're not diving deep like we spoke on earlier. We stick to these ideas. We stick to these old cliches. You know. If it don't grow on trees, it ain't real. Let's start defining these particular ideologies, seeing where the roots come from or created for, or where they have been. Because some of the roots got to be pulled up. You know that, right? Uh-oh. Fear of criticism. So I wanted to share this with y'all before I get off here. So come to find out, C.T. Fletcher, C.T. Fletcher, the fitness guru from Compton, California, is my cousin. Literally, he's my cousin through my grandpa's brother. It's kind of interesting. So we was tripping off that. My little cousin found out this information through Ancestry.com. So they did DNA trace and whatnot. So that was kind of interesting. I just wanted to share that with you. But fear of criticism just come to mind. Fear of criticism. Doing what you're passionate about regardless of what others want you or trying to get you to think. You know, people know that I'm a passionate brother in music. They know my fitness game is second to nobody. Yes, I said it's second to nobody. Because I put in the work and it pays off. That's another thing. It pays off. So take the time. Even if you are a Superman runner or something, go take a walk. 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, it don't matter. Have some fun. Enjoy. Just do a fun walk. You ever heard of those? Just a fun walk. Shout out to you. Much love. I'm out. Tune in to next episode, episode 56, where we're going to jump into some more detailed information. Checks and balances. We're out. Peace.